Hello, my name is Kathy Kobrine, and this is my story of transformation for Dr. Joe Dispenza. I have changed in so many ways since I started doing the work in May of 2022. In 22, I was desperate to change, yet ignorant on how to change. I was angry, very closed off from people, and lonely. I did not trust anyone, and everyone was my enemy. I had just left an inpatient facility where I had been in and out of the last 3 years for mental health. I decided to make a firm intention that I was not going back. Therefore, I needed to figure out how I was going to change. I started going to events, and in the beginning, I was the queen of yeah-buts and argued with Dr. Joe in my head. My biggest change came when I finally understood no one can change me but me. It was one thing to agree with the statement. It was another thing to learn this on a visceral level. The next change came after I continually adapting the new information about myself that I learned from the various events that I was at. And many times I failed. Every time I failed, I shrugged it off the tears and got back up and remembered the words of Dr. Joe. It's not that we fall, it's how long are we going to stay down. I have a mental illness, specifically bipolar, and I have denied this for most of my life. And on top of it, I am autistic. It has been taking me until the last year in January to be able to admit it to myself and share it with others. I have lived a life of shame and secrecy for most of my life, and I hid my autism, my difficulty with people, difficulty communicating, and my inability to tolerate being in my own body in this world. I have hid it and pursued being perfect to blend in and never show who I am or any of my weaknesses. My process of unmasking and being just who I am and being okay with this person could not have happened without the diligently doing the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. So many events and their various lessons. Some of those lessons were pretty harsh, but the lessons, they were nonetheless just lessons. Also, his loving support, and especially Grace Childs for helping me through some very difficult times. I have learned so many things from this work. I will list a few, but please be mindful, however, that these are work in progress. I'm in no way healed in the traditional sense, because learning and growing and changing is a lifelong experience, and we were never meant to remain stagnant. The great lesson I learned is evident in the fact that I am even doing this video with no fear that if I stutter, go blank, or lose my train of thought. I am now able to verbally say no when I mean no. I am now able to sit with myself and my body when I am uncomfortable. I have learned to stop fighting against my own mind and brain and now have the skills, thanks to Dr. Joe, to be able to work with it. I'm able to hold and love gratitude in my heart. I have learned to be in my body and not disassociate. I am learning to trust myself. Well, let's take that back. I can trust myself. I am not afraid to be me, and I can feel. Sometimes I don't have a clue what it is, but I can feel. I've found people that I can trust. And most importantly, I found my smile, the real one. And so much more. My life is different now. I know I have a great deal of work yet to work through, and this statement alone makes it true. I feel so tremendously different than I did when I started this work. However, one word that encapsulates my entire journey is I feel free. I still struggle with emotions, and so many times I struggle with saying any words at all or choosing the incorrect one. Now, it's okay. It's my struggle. Everyone has one. And so I accept this as something that I need to work with. I can speak now. There was a time when I was unable. I feel free in my words. I feel free in my body. And that's kind of weird. That I inhabit. I mostly feel free in my heart. I feel free like a person. I can feel that I have heart, and I know that I can now share my heart with others, awkward or not. I can share it. And that alone is freedom. I feel, and for an autistic person, that's a good place to start working from. Thank you very much.